Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Good Morning Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And we are already at yet another hot July morning. I even forget what day of the month it is. I was trying to find that. I guess, I don't know what, 17th or 18th. Chief, can you tell me what?
16th.
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 I appreciate that. A little discombobulated these days, but I appreciate your help, sir. We are going to get right to our first guest. And of course, the weather is much as the same as we've been talking about the past few days, but we'll get that for you in detail in just a little bit. Speaking with Chief Sean Brandenburg, Chief of Police for the Key West Police Department. Thank you for being here this morning, sir, and good morning to you.
Good morning to you and all your listeners. Thank you, Michael.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for all you do as well. We appreciate your service so very much, and we're going to impart upon our listening public some of the things that the Key West Police Department has been up to as of late. It's been busy. Let's talk about cops and kids. First off, one of the many outreach initiatives the Key West Police Department imparts and takes part in is part of community policing and community relations.
Yeah, this year's Cops and Kids Summer Splash last weekend was another huge success. A lot of thanks I got to give out. Lower Keys Hospital, Aqueduct, 4-Star Rental, Morrison Health, Key West Personal Chef, Lost Kitchen, Coca-Cola, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, FWC, NAS Police. We had motorcycles, horses out there, free hamburgers, free hot dogs, free water, free Powerade drinks, keeping everybody hydrated. We had several hundred individuals come through. One individual of note, Mrs. Universe, showed up.
No kidding.
Just out of nowhere. Yeah. So, yeah, got a picture taken with Mrs. Universe, and she even gave us a little plug on her social media. So it was a great day. Lots of kids, lots of fun. The splash pad was there. 4-Star Rental hooked us up with a tent to get some people out of the sun and the heat, and then some bounce houses that the kids absolutely loved. And, this is all thanks to Floyd Jenkins as well, my administrative assistant. He puts his heart and soul into this. We gave out free books, free coloring books. Several of the other agencies there. I'm sorry, the fire department was there with the ladder truck. Hard to overlook the giant red truck, the biggest truck there. But no, just all our community partners got together, met up down at Truman Waterfront, and it was just a day of fun and meeting with the public. So Thank you to everybody that helped. Thank you even more to everybody that came out, and we look forward to trying to make it better next year, hopefully with the radio station out there broadcasting live.
I would love to do that. Let's work on that as soon as possible, and we would be happy to oblige and be honored to do so as well. Again, is Chief of Police, Key West Police Department, Sean Brandenburg, with us this morning. So we had a number of cases your department is following up. We had a kilo of cocaine. It's been washing up in various parts of the Keys. One showed up in the Key West jurisdiction as well. It's now in lost and found, ready to be claimed.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you lost a kilo of cocaine in the area of Fort Zach, we have it in our custody, and some of my detectives would love to talk to you about you and your criminal enterprise.
Absolutely, yes.
So please come in and talk to us.
Please step forward. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is happening. It's somewhat, not necessarily regularly, but we still have drugs coming ashore, and there are still drugs coming into our area, and Key West Police Department is working very hard to keep them at bay and doing a very good job at that. So we appreciate all of those efforts. By the way, I was going to step back for just a second and talk about yet another initiative too that is of note coming up Saturday, July 18th. Key West Police Department Love Fund hosting Duval Donates benefit for Key West Police Officer Mike Patay and Monroe County Sheriff Deputy Tiffany Patay. I think I say their name right, but they lost. Petty, thank you. Lost their home in a fire in May, asking all to please take part, support the Key West Police Department Love Fund, which always does terrific work. And that's the Duval Donates coming up Saturday, July 18th.
Yeah, Saturday, July 18th, that evening, we will have a stage in the 200 block of Duval. I think this is the first time I can recall every bar on the 200 block of Duval, as well as around the corner onto Caroline Street, have all gotten together, all for a single purpose. Again, to raise money for those two officers that lost their home back in May. And of course, Mike suffered severe injuries, still not back to work, still multiple doctor's appointments a week, trying to get him back to where he can come back to work and help us out. But yeah, we're going to be having a huge celebration down on Duval Street from 6 to 10 p.m. on Saturday night. And if you can come out, please come out. We'll have the streets closed. You'll be able to buy, if I understand it right, you'll be able to buy tickets from the booth that the Love Fund is operating, and then take those tickets into any of the bars that are participating and trade them in for drinks and food.
Yeah. It's a great community collaboration, again, supporting the Love Fund. And again, what a great cause it is. So this coming Saturday, and that will happen 200 block of Duval Street. Duval donates. One individual who will probably not be invited into that particular event, or others, is a gentleman who got into a fight with a bartender here recently.
Yeah, we did have an individual get into a fight with one of the bartenders, one of our local bars. He did flee the scene before officers arrived. We did locate him, of course, a short time later. He tried to run from Officer Gabby Bizzetti. Officer Bizzetti held him at taser point until backup officers arrived. Officer Holmes was one of the backup officers that assisted in cuffing the individual, and then the individual spit on Officer Holmes. Also made multiple threats to all the officers on scene that he was going to, and I quote, kick their asses, and also other forms of retribution. So he got a free ride to the R&R bed and breakfast.
Yeah, as it should be. Again, it is Chief Sean Brandenburg with us, Chief of Police of the Key West Police Department, on Good Morning Keys. A number of individuals who have not gotten the message yet that you can't be smoking marijuana unless you have medical clearance to do so. We actually had a felon who got stopped for doing that. He also was not registered as a felon. So a couple of infractions there actually landed him in custody as well.
Yeah, individual out smoking marijuana in a location not permitted, even if you did have a marijuana card, and then admitted to having additional marijuana and pipes in his vehicle. After checking criminal history on him, we did find out that he was a convicted felon that had not registered in Monroe County. There are rules and regulations if you're a convicted felon when you move into an area, or when you're going to be in an area for too long. All felons are aware of those rules and regulations. They're explained to them when they're released. So he was taken to jail and his vehicle towed for a multitude of crimes.
Well, Chief, another individual with marijuana also didn't quite get the message about not smoking or ingesting that unless you're authorized, of course. So that guy was stopped and consequently is being charged as well.
Yeah, again, down at Simonton Beach, we've had a problem with kayaks not properly being stored properly when they come ashore there. The officers were down there taking the ones that were improperly stored into custody. An individual decided to interject himself into that situation and try and interfere with the officers with what they were doing, and smelled of marijuana. Again, Officer Holmes asked him if he had additional marijuana, and he said, yeah, I've got another 12 grams of marijuana in my bag here. So, he came up to officers that were there for another purpose, wanted to interject himself, and wanted our undivided attention while smelling of more marijuana and carrying 12 grams of marijuana. So, again, he got a trip to the R&R bed and breakfast.
Okay. Chief Sean Brandenburg with us. He's Chief of Police, Key West Police Department, on Good Morning Keys. Had an FWC warrant, apparently. A guy on a dinghy. You assisted with that.
Yeah, FWC had obtained a warrant for an individual that we'd been dealing with. Officer Holmes and a couple of my other officers were involved in surveilling the boat that he normally stays on. They did see an individual that matched his description go to that boat. So they contacted Officer Getchell with our Marine unit, and they took our police boat out into the Cowkeech Channel. And as we were approaching the boat, individual that matched the description and two other individuals jumped into a small dinghy and took off at a high rate of speed. As our police vessel got closer, we recognized the operator of the dinghy as one James Huckabee Jr. Due to several prior law enforcement encounters. Emergency lights were activated and siren were activated on our police boat. Temporarily, the dinghy tried to evade us, but that was not going to turn out well for them. So they did decide to comply. As we pulled up, we made a positive ID on the individual driving the dinghy as Mr. Huckabee, and took him into custody, had him come over onto the police vessel, and he was taken into custody without much further issues and arrested on a felony warrant for from FWC. So again, working with our partners in the community to keep the community safe.
Yeah, a lot of interagency cooperation ongoing, and it is all for the public good, no doubt about that. Well, Chief, I had gotten an email just earlier this week. A number of people did, and it came as a surprise and comes with some, I guess, some regrets, because I have thoroughly enjoyed and respected all of the work that is done by Allison Crean. She is a public information officer for the city and for the City of Key West Police Department. And she does so much behind the scenes that people just do not see or even realize. She will be sorely missed, huge shoes to fill, but she is going to be setting sail into a very well-deserved retirement. So we want to take a moment to commend her, to congratulate her, to honor her, and make mention of all that she has done and contributed.
Yeah, Allison came to the Key West Police Department in 2008, so she's been a fixture around here almost as long as I have. She came to the Key West Police Department. She, in her previous careers, had been a journalist, a writer, a publisher, an editor, a photographer. Anything in that trade, she knows how to do. She has done a great job representing the Key West Police Department and the city of Key West, and she's going to be sorely missed. This is one of those cases, depending on whose shoes you're in, it feels a little different. For those of us that are going to have to remain, we're sad. For her, I think she's a little happy. So, as you said, very well-deserved retirement. And I wish her the very best. As far as I know, at least for the near future, she will be remaining in Key West. So she's not too far away, and will always, she'll always be available as my friend to assist me in not saying the wrong things while I'm on the radio.
Well, very good. And you rarely do that, if at all. But again, Allison, we certainly wish you the best. She will be sorely missed. But again, she has left her mark on the City of Key West and the City of Key West Police Department. So thank you for your service, Allison Crean. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And if there's anything else that you should mention, Chief, certainly you have the floor. Otherwise, I know you have a busy day to get to.
No, and I just, we are busy. It's just nothing gets real newsworthy, I guess. Last night we answered 148 calls for service and made 25 traffic stops. So, we are busy even for the off season and even for as hot as it is out. There's plenty to do. I made a traffic stop on my way in this morning to help educate an individual that there's no left turns off of North Roosevelt onto Palm Avenue. So, got to help him out, and but at the same time we had a large piece of equipment coming into town, and all the community worked together to let him make that turn off of North Roosevelt onto Palm Avenue. So we have a great community here that work together to get us through our day, and our officers are out there day and night trying to help out and make it a safe place to live, work, and play.
Yeah, no matter how hot it is, your officers are out there each and every day serving the public and protecting the public As a result, crime rate continues to decrease in the city of Key West, and we thank you for your leadership and your part in that and the service of each and every officer and individual in the Key West Police Department. So thank you. One final reminder, July 18th, I regret greatly that I will not be in town for that date, but we want all to come together to support the Key West Police Department Love Fund. Mike and Tiffany do need your help. Love Fund is stepping up to give them that help as they lost their home at the fire in May. So everybody come together and help with that. Chief, thank you so much for being here, sir. We greatly appreciate all your service and your friendship, sir, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir. And I will be at the party on Duval Street from 6 to 10 in uniform. So anybody wants to come up and talk to me, that's where I'll be.
Yes, sir. Thank you so very much. You have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Okay, bye-bye now. Here's Chief Sean Brandenburg, Chief of Police, Key West Police Department, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We return in a moment.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles for Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Your home is your castle, your sanctuary. Rack Advanced Control brings together the electrical and smart technology that make your home comfortable, secure, and effortless to live in. Imagine music flowing seamlessly through every room, beautiful lighting that adjusts to your lifestyle, motorized shades, climate control, and energy management all working together automatically. From integrated audio and video systems to discrete security cameras and professional electrical services, Rack Advanced Control designs and installs technology that works in perfect harmony. Originally founded in California, Rack Advanced Control has over 20 years of experience serving the luxury residential market and was honored as a 2024 Lutron Excellence Award Integrator. Now with an office in Key West, Florida, Rack brings world-class smart home design and electrical expertise to the Florida Keys. Make your home smarter, safer, and more enjoyable to live in. Call 786-647-9647 or visit rackav.com. Rack Advanced Control. Intelligent luxury, expertly installed.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. And it is a busy Thursday morning, the 16th of July. We're going to say good morning to the manager of the Village of Islamorada. It is Ron Saunders. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Michael.
Hi there. So a busy time in Islamorada as well. Had a council meeting here recently and set the millage rate. So can you give us an update on that?
Well, as all local governments, we're starting our budget process. Our fiscal year starts October 1, so we have to start the process early. We're going to have a couple, I think 3 budget workshops next month, 2 budget hearings in September. But the first step is you have to set a tentative millage rate, and that's required by all local governments. And you start at something, you can only decrease it, you cannot increase it. So on Tuesday's village council meeting, we have once a month meetings. They decided to start the millage rate at 2.8. Last year we started at 3 and we moved it down to 2.65. This year we're starting at 2.8 and we're going to still try to keep moving it down. We can't move it up, we can only move it down. So we'll be having some hearings and figure out where we can save money and cut costs, et cetera. So we'll be publishing those workshops, getting public input. So the budget process is very important. Once again, we start our budget year October 1. So we're getting, we got some increases in our tax rolls because the values have gone up in Islamorada and throughout the Keys. That's the good news. The bad news is our costs have gone up. For example, our last meeting on Tuesday, we got a new contract with the sheriff. The sheriff is actually our police department here in Islamorada, and we're going to get an increase of about $200,000 passed on to us because he has to increase some salaries for deputies, et cetera, cost of living and all that. So our costs are going up as well as for everybody out there in the community. So the budget process is a big one. We invite everybody's input. We're also looking at ways to try to increase revenues. One thing we did do is we approved a $2 rider fare for Freebie. Freebie, as the name implies, has been a free service. It's a point-to-point on-demand rideshare program that we've had since I think 2018. And basically the taxpayers have been subsidizing because it's been free. And at this point, because we want to make sure we are maximizing our budget impacts, we have instituted the village has instituted a $2 rider fee, which will start next Monday, the July 20th. So Freebie has been notifying riders. We've been publicizing it, obviously letting people know. And then go on the Freebie website, and they've been giving them all the details on how to do that. So once again, Freebie will be implementing that on Monday. Tuesday is another big day. One of the things we discussed at our last council meeting was the ongoing negotiations with the Monroe County School Board about the Founders Park baseball field. It's been over a year. I think we're close, and so we've been asking for a while to have a joint meeting, and that didn't happen. But finally, both sides realized if we want to bring this home, we need to probably meet one time and just kind of finalize everything. So that meeting will be next Tuesday, July 21st. It's before a school board meeting. The school board had a regular scheduled meeting at the Marathon High School at 5 o'clock on Tuesday the 21st. So we have scheduled with the school board a joint meeting beginning at 1:30. We hopefully won't take more than an hour or two, but that'll be 1:30 at Marathon High School, where they usually meet in their marathon meetings. So hopefully we'll get some agreement on that. So we got the Founders Park baseball field. We have the Freebie, which we entered a new contract with Freebie. That's where the $2 fee is coming from. Their contract had expired at the end of June, so we had to renew that contract too. Another big thing that we did last week was also we had a charter review committee that met and had several meetings, got a lot of input. They made some suggestions of what should be changes to the charter. Charter changes have to come before the council, then go on the ballot in November for voter approval. And so we had 4 of them up on our agenda last week, and they approved 3 of the 4. The one they did not approve was an increase in their salaries. Right now, council members make $1,000 a month. The proposal was to increase it to $1,500 a month. And I think the thought of at least a majority of the council was that probably wasn't going to pass anyway, that this is not a good time to be asking voters to approve an increase in council salaries. And so they, on their own, decided not to put it on the ballot. They did approve 3 other ones. One is an important one, I think, that's going to go to 3-year terms and stagger them. Right now, we have 5 council members. All 5 are up every 2 years. So this November, all 5 council members are up. Now, they have all filed to run. They haven't got any opponents yet. They still could. We have until August until we know for sure. And then if somebody gets an opponent, they'll be on the November ballot. But theoretically, every 2 years, you could have a brand new council. That's kind of tough for the manager and for the staff. And so what the suggestion is to go to 3-year terms. And then some of them will get, initially they get a 2 and some will get a 3. So that way, not all of them are up at the same time. So that's going to be on the ballot in November. And we're going to be getting some education on that. The other thing is giving voters more authority on filling vacancies. We've had some issues in the past where council members died or resigned, and so we're going to give voters more authority on that. And the third one is giving voters the right to demand a supermajority vote when the village is buying or selling property. And so we've had some complaints in the past about why did you buy this? Why are you selling this? So all three of those recommendations will be on the ballot in November, not the August 18th, but the November 3rd general election ballot. So a lot of issues are out there that they brought up last week. We had a couple other things that we've approved a contractor for the North Plantation Key booster pump station. We've had issues with our wastewater in the past. DEP's been working with us to try to resolve those problems, and we got approval to go proceed with a contractor, Reynolds, Reynolds Construction, that was selected as one of the. We had 4 bids submitted, and they selected Reynolds Construction. We have about a $7 million project, so it's not cheap, and we have a lot of state and federal grants that'll cover most of it. But it's important to get that wastewater system fixed because we've had some problems in the past, and we're trying to be proactive in fixing that. So, like I said, a lot of things going on there, and we just want to try to make sure we get the word out there that things are going well, and we want to keep it that way.
Yeah, indeed. This village manager, Village of Islamorada, Ron Saunders, with us, former state legislator as well. It is a busy time there in the Village of Islamorada, and as you mentioned, I have been speaking with some of the school board members as well about the Founders Park baseball field. And I know that, it seems like everybody would like to get that resolved and move on. Is there still a special call village council meeting regarding that baseball field license agreement coming up? It was slated for the 27th.
The 27th, assuming that things go well on the 21st, and I've learned to assume nothing. But let's say that we can reach an agreement on a tentative agreement. I don't think the school board didn't want to vote on it that day. Theoretically, they could have gone in on the 21st, had the workshop, then voted on something. I think they want to give us some time. And so what hopefully we'll do on Tuesday is we'll have a proposed agreement that we're trying to get the attorneys to work out the wording. And then we'll discuss that proposed agreement on Tuesday at the workshop meeting once again at 1:30 at Marathon High School. Then the school board, I don't know if they'll discuss it at the meeting following that, but they have a meeting scheduled on the 28th in Key West. So we didn't want to wait because we're getting kind of close. We want to get that field done before next baseball season that starts in January. We need to get this agreement in place. So what we've decided to do is we'll have our special call meeting. It's probably going to be the 27th. It could change, but we have to give 72-hour notice. But tentatively speaking, it'd be on the 27th. Assuming we have an agreement, we would pass it the village council, will pass it on the 27th. Then the next day, at their regular scheduled meeting on the 28th in Key West, the school board would pass it. So on the 28th, both the district school board and the village council would have the same agreement. It's just like a legislative bill. The House and Senate have to have an identical bill. If they change one word, there's no bill. Same as this. If it's not an identical agreement approved by both, there's no agreement. So once again, hopefully on the 21st, we'll have some tentative agreement that a majority of both boards say they can support. The 27th, we would pass it if that's agreed to. And then on the 28th, the school board pass it. And then we would be able to proceed with the construction. We've narrowed down the project right now, just the baseball field, the fences and the dugouts, because we had some issues about the concession stand and all that. We decided to put that on hold for now. If the school district wants to keep that in there later on, we can keep talking. But the main thing was getting that field done because the field's not in great shape now. It's a grass field, but we want to have that. And both sides have agreed it's going to be artificial turf, but we want to make sure that it gets installed prior to baseball season. I watched the field down at Bayview Park get done, and it's possible to do it in 3 months, 3 or 4 months. But we'd have to start, at the end of this month. And so that's why we're kind of pushing to get this agreement done.
Yeah. Does Coral Shores have an alternative site if this doesn't work out with the Village of Islamorada for baseball?
Short answer is no.
Okay.
They've looked up and down the Keys. As you know, obviously large parcels of property are very rare.
Yeah.
And the ones that are out there are very expensive.
Yeah.
We've had the baseball field here for 25 years. It's worked out well. The problem is now that in a time that Coral Shores added other sports programs that didn't even exist as far as 25 years ago, like lacrosse, things like that are used in the fields behind the high school. If you move the baseball field over there, what happens to all those other sports? And so that's been the problem. I think most people agree that the ball field should stay here, but we've had issues because they're spending almost $4 million in the field and they want to have a lot of input on it, which is understandable. On the other hand, we own the property and we want a lot of input. And so it's been ongoing back and forth, and obviously the community's had a lot of input on it too. But I think we're getting close, and fingers are crossed that we'll have an agreement next week.
Okay, very good. Ron Saunders, he's village manager, Village of Islamorada. You can find out more about all of these items we've talked about, as well as stay up to date on the latest developments. Go to islamorada.fl.us. And again, freebie starts with a $2 fare, still very reasonable. And that's starting Monday, July 20th. You'll get information on the freebie app, email, and the like. So, Ron, you've covered a lot of ground here this morning, a lot of updates that are very helpful to our community at large. Anything else, though, that we should mention at this time?
No, I think that we appreciate everybody's input. We said I have a newsletter every Monday, so go online to our village website. You can subscribe to the newsletter. We try to get a lot of information there too, and we appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come out and talk to your listeners.
Absolutely, we appreciate you taking the time to do so, Ron. You have a very good day. We appreciate again also all of your community service in so many capacities. You have a great day, sir. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Take care. It is Ron Saunders. He's village manager, Village of Islamorada. On Keys Talk 96.9 1025. The talk of the Keys. We're back in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town Key West, or twofriends.com.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 1025.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 1025, the talk of the Keys. A busy morning as we say good morning to George Lopez, and he's running for county commissioner. And good morning to you, George. How are you, sir?
And good morning to all your listeners.
Yes,
Love being here.
Thank you so much for being here. So it's been a busy time. The campaign is well underway now, and you've been up and down the Keys, meeting with a lot of potential voters and getting the word out about what you stand for.
Yes, sir. I am, and I really love the challenge. I love meeting the people, and it's been exciting.
Yeah, it has. Well, again, if you don't know George, you're probably apt to meet him somewhere in the Keys. He has a record of service and leadership in the military. I did not realize you went to the Citadel, but thank you for your service in the military. The Citadel is a great way to start, is it not?
Yeah, it gives you the choice. I started off as Air Force first, and then switched over to the Navy, and that's what the Citadel offers you. That it gives you all. I get all 5 now services that you can choose from, and including which is Space Force, and then from there you basically branch out to whatever organization you choose. And a lot of people don't go in, but a lot of people do go in, and and that's. I was always intending to go in because I had my pilot's license since I was 16 years old, but couldn't officially take it till I was 17.
Ah, no kidding. And of course, a successful business career as well, following your career as a Navy pilot. But now you're taking a stance in support of Governor Ron DeSantis's property tax reform. So maybe talk about that a little bit, if you would.
Well, I support meaningful tax relief for the 8,980 residents that are full-time residents here, which only equates to 20% of the homesteaded parcels that are homestead that are tax revenue generators for the county. We are the number one receipt of taxes for homestead properties in the whole state of Florida. We're number one. And you can't tell me that you can't give $33 million out of $168 million that they collect in tax revenues back to the people that are here full-time residents. It's being disingenuous or self-serving. And I mentioned that in the debate that I had with my opponent. And to be frank with you, it is, because they can do it. All they got to do is tighten their belts down or lower the millage rate. I keep hearing my opponent say that we have the second lowest or lowest millage rate all the time. But guess what? All she has to do is go from 2.72, which it is right now, to 2.4 something, and she gets $10 million back. You're talking about 0.03%. Anyways, the original plan for Governor DeSantis was SJR 1, and that was for elimination of complete ad valorem taxes. And when I say ad valorem, it's only the assessed value of your property. We're not talking about essential services. Anybody that tells you that essential services and threatens that they're going to be affected, the essential services of the county, is basically not being true to you. And what I mean by that is you're still going to get your tax bill, and it's going to say school, fire, EMS, sanitation, and whatever the fourth one is. And you're still going to end up paying that. You're not going to get zero on your tax bill. You're going to get zero for the assessed value, or a $250,000 deduction over 2 years of what the assessed value of your property is. And it only equates to like $1,700 on the average. But you know what? It means a lot to the people that are here, and they should get it back. They've been paying into it.
Well, again, it is George Lopez. He's running for Commissioner District 2 for Monroe County on Good Morning Keys. So you had looked at the expenses, you looked at line items and a tax study on Monroe County, where to find the excess money, how to get it back to the citizens of Monroe County, Florida. Where can we find savings as far as expenditures go?
Well, you could find it on rolling back the millage rate is one, auditing the MSTU, the one over there, and locking in the savings before the money disappears, because that's what will happen. Now, I'm not saying somebody's going to take it. I'm going to say that government is going to take part of it, and they're going to use it for other things, which is what they always do. And you don't have a good accounting. That's why the audit that I just mentioned on the MSTU. The other recommendation is protect the Middle Keys Healthcare MSTU. And you could do this. They just had a budget meeting, and none of these things were brought up. Recommendation number 1, adopt the rollback rate. In other words, go from 2.6929 millage rate and roll it back to 2.4786 millage rate. And that's a savings in one meeting of $10.7 million that they can get right off of that. The other one that I just mentioned, it was protect the Middle Keys Healthcare MSTU. You could get $2.5 million back in that. And then the last one is the audit the fire ambulance MSTU, locking in an 18.6 percentage increase. And I know this is all numbers, but that's a $3 million savings right there. Okay, they could save $20 million from one budget meeting to the next. The other thing is the TDC is fat and happy over there. They've been pulled away from the budget. Their annual budget is $103 million, of which they handled because they clawed back in fiscal year 2025, $472 million. They paid for the budget, and there's $330 million or somewhere close to there that's floating around there that we could redirect towards the county. Okay, we could cover all our shortfalls just based on that and say, okay, you can have half of that, but you know what? It's the county's money when it comes down to it, and let's figure a way to get it.
George Lopez, he's running for Commissioner District 2 on Good Morning Keys. So yes, you did do a very detailed tax study that you have that actually posted on your website.
Yeah, it's on my issues page over there on the website, and it's one that I paid for. I paid, on my own dime. I paid basically a tax accountant who helped me out with some things that I had needed help with, and they basically did the study, and they used the data from the FAC, which is Michelle's organization, which is directly lobbying against the homestead tax relief that Governor DeSantis is. And then she tells us she swore an oath to the people of the county and basically said that she would protect her constituents, but she's working against them. Sounds like a conflict of interest to me, but that's my opinion. And she basically has said that she doesn't support it. If you look at her obscene mailer that she sent, which is basically the size of a windshield, you can see that she doesn't talk about tax relief. She doesn't talk about the CDL, and she certainly doesn't talk about lowering the insurance rates.
And
I think,
George, I was just going to ask, just to redirect a little bit, CDL training school, you have an opinion on that?
I do. No commercial operation should be anywhere in a federally protected habitat for an endangered species, not to mention that CDL, truck driving school, truck driving commercial operation, putting semis in Big Pine Key. Why would you do that? Where an endangered species is at, there's two of them. There's a white marsh rabbit, and there's there's a key deer, obviously. But not to mention, you're going to put it in a residential area. I don't want anything to happen to anybody's kid, but you're talking about driving semi trucks in that area, which is a federally protected area, and it's in the middle of a residence. God forbid that some child gets run over. And you're just asking for trouble. And why do we have to ask for trouble in such a beautiful place and pristine place? Because ever since the chain gang or the prison has closed, the land is reclaiming that area back. Why are we wanting to pour concrete on this?
Okay, George Lopez, he is running for Commissioner District 2 on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys, and he does cover the issues that we're talking about. Elect -George Lopez.com is where you can find out more about George's background and then where he stands on these issues. So how are you being received in the public? You feel good about the campaign so far where you are?
I'll be honest with you. I when I started this thing, I was very hesitant to get in it. I'm full bore now because of the support I've gotten from the community, people that want to see change, people that want help getting these serious issues addressed that they're not getting attention from the current BOCC. It's, to me, it's a no-brainer. Help your constituents. You work for the constituents. It's not the other way around. Which is the opinion that most of these people are telling me, that they basically feel like they have to work for the BOCC. That's your oath is to them. It's not the other way around.
Okay, George Lopez, again, running for Commissioner District 2. You'll be seeing him and hearing more from him in the upcoming weeks, I'm sure. George, I know you've got a busy day to get to. We appreciate you taking the time to visit with our listeners here this morning. And is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you go, sir?
You know what? I enjoy this. The more people hear the message out there of what I want to do, which is to basically work for them, not the other way around, they like it. I'm getting receptions from a lot of Democrats, a lot of MPAs, and certainly the Republican Party. But, I'm a commissioner for all three, and that's this position entails that. I humbly ask on August 18th, and including now, while you got your vote by mails out, to consider me. If you have any questions, you can go to the website. You can call me on my phone, which is 305-588-5582. That's my cell. You can call me there. I always answer my phone, and I'll tell you what I feel and how we can make things better, because honestly, we have to make them better.
Okay. George, thank you so much for being here. As I mentioned this morning, elect-george-lopez.com to find out more. We will talk to you again soon, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Take care. George Lopez. Yes, sir. Running for Commissioner, District 2, Monroe County, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We return in a moment.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles for Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
Good morning, Keys, on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. It is 8:57, and we are at 87 degrees on our way to 90. Just a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms at 10%. Tonight, 10% chance of rain and 83. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers, 10%, 90 for your high. Into the weekend, 90. 20% chance of rain on Saturday, Sunday, 10% chance of a shower or a thunder shower, and 90 for your high. So that's what that's going to look like there. Want to give you one reminder again that it is Saturday, July 18th is the date. The Key West Police Love Fund hosting Duval Donates. Thanks to all of the bar owners and operators and establishments down on Lower Duval and the side streets there coming together to make this possible. You can purchase the tickets being sold by the Love Fund there that night, starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday. The street will be shut down, and it's going to be a big festival there happening for the Key West Police Love Fund, specifically helping to benefit Key West Police Officer Mike Petty, I believe I have that right. The chief told me how to say it, and Tiffany as well. A couple who lost their home in a fire in May, and I apologize if I mispronounced your names there. But point being, they are going to be the beneficiaries of the Love Fund initiative this Saturday. It is again the Duval Street Party for a Cause. Come on down and take part in that big block party Saturday night. All right. So that's actually, look at this. It's Rick's, Sloppy Joe's, Tiki House, Irish Kevin's, Fogarty's, Tattoos and Scars, and others on the 200 block of Duval. So see you down there. Hope you're able to attend and take part in that. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We are getting set for another busy day of commentary and the like. I'm sure there will be all kinds of analysis of President Trump's comments, as well as what's happening on the worldwide stage. And that'll be brought to you with Glenn Beck here coming up momentarily, followed by Clay and Buck at noon, Sean Hannity, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It is Drew Steele and Florida's Voice. 6 o'clock, we have the great one. It is Mark Levin. 9 o'clock, Jesse Kelly, Coast to Coast AM overnight. And AUC with Dr. B live at 9 o'clock. That is coming up on Saturday. So join us for all of that and more. We've always got breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news brought to you at least every half hour. Weather is around the clock. Everything to keep you engaged and informed on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Thank you for listening.